Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Fuller versus Neal.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Ms. Fuller, you say that on your mother's deathbed, she confessed your dad was not the man listed on your birth certificate.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim she then told you that your biological father was actually a well-known singer who was also the love of her life.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now today you say you finally tracked him down and he's waiting outside of the courtroom. Now while you have doubts whether he is actually your biological father, you confess he's your last hope. Mm-hmm. So Ms. Fuller, before you meet him for the very first time, please explain why you say today is one of the most important days of your entire life.
At the age of 10, my mother and father that I've known to be my father had a fight, and on his way out, he told me, and by the way, I'm not your father. And my birth certificate, it has him as my birth certificate, has my father that I've always known, but I know he's not, and he's told me, he said, I'm not your father. That was something that was just really devastating to me in my life. And at the age of 13, on my 13th birthday, my mother told me that he wasn't my real father and that my father was dead, actually. And I did, not to tell my sisters, but just that's something that she wanted me to know. And I took and carried that with me for a long time. I'm 47 years old, and I just like some answers. But I'm just very, I've got a lot of mixed emotions. I've never needed a father. I've always tried to carry on my life without having, knowing where I come from. You know, I've been pretty displaced. Right now, I'm really just looking for some answers, and I need closure. And so my mom, on her deathbed, she died about a year ago, less than a year. She told me that that really my father is possibly Cornelius. And I said, Cornelius? I didn't know who that was. And she said, that's who I think your father is. So I went online after she passed. I went online to find out who he is, possibly.
So she just gave you a name? She
gave me a name, and she said that basically that he was a saxophone player, he was a musician. And I thought, wow, okay. I found a record in her stuff when I was going through her stuff, and it had her name on it. And once I heard it, I was flabbergasted. I thought, wow, this is somebody she loved so much. This is the album that I'd like to present for evidence.
Jerome, let me see that. And this is the song your alleged father wrote about your mother?
Yes, yes.
So that was the song, Lorraine, that's your mother's name.
Yes, and she always talked about the love of her life, and really I wonder if that's, you know, if he is.
And that lyric says, Lorraine, Lorraine, I don't want you to go.
Yes, she had left, she left him, or she left the state, and I think that's,
So you found this man, the writer of this song, but you've never met him?
No. I was able to find him on Facebook, and I befriended him. And I asked, you know, we talked, you know, a little here and there.
But you've never met him face to face?
No.
I think it's time. Jerome, please send him in.
Can I hug you?
Mr. Neal, thank you so much for being here today.
Yes.
We are here because, of course, Ms. Fuller has found you on Facebook, she says, and reached out to you because she believes there's a possibility you may be her biological father. Do you remember her mother, Lorraine?
Yes. I was singing in a band at the time, and That's where I met at, in the nightclub, and we started dating.
Yes.
When she came down to the club, I would take her home. She lived in the other part of town.
All right.
And I stayed in the ghetto. And she was white, you know.
All right, so in a nutshell, during the time you dated, you know, that had to be the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So that was a time when you were saying that dating interracially was a challenge and often frowned upon.
Yes.
And so you were on opposite sides of the track and different races.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
But you were in love.
I was in love. I mean, you know.
So what ended the relationship?
Well, I felt that she might have thought I loved my music, wanted my music more than I wanted her. But it wasn't true. Mm-hmm. It wasn't true. She left town, and I was told that Lorraine had left.
So you never saw her again?
I never saw her again.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So, Ms. Fuller, all those years you knew nothing of Mr. Neal?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
You knew nothing of the song?
No, not until I found the record and her stuff. The father I knew to be, he gave me a timeline of people who could possibly be my father, him trying to dismiss the fact that he was my father. I have evidence of that, of timeline of...
Let me see that. Jerome, thank you. And this is, ma'am?
This is a timeline that my father presented to, I think, the county, because I think he was trying to acknowledge that he was not the father of me, so he didn't have to pay back child support. And
all right, so he was trying to relinquish his rights,
yes,
sign over his rights, and so he was trying to identify the men he thought could be your biological father.
Yes.
He was in the military, so he was out of town a lot.
Yes, he was.
And so he created a list of all the people he thought could potentially be your biological father, and this list is long.
Yeah.
Mr. Neal, did you know that Lorraine, her mother, had married someone else?
Well, yes, I knew she had married somebody else because I knew the guy. I knew the guy, and we was from the same hometown.
Okay.
But after she got married and left town, I didn't know where she had went to. But I found out that she was in San Bernardino. So me and my brother drove to San Bernardino to the place I thought she was at. And I knocked on the door, and she came to the door.
She did?
Yeah.
So you found her in San Bernardino. Was she single or was she married?
Well, she was married.
She was married?
Yeah.
So when you knocked on the door, was her husband home?
No.
So what happened?
We just fell in love again.
Fell in love again.
Yeah.
Is that a respectful way of saying you all engaged in an intimate
Yes.
encounter?
Yes.
We'll say it that way?
Yes, we made love.
And after that night, did you ever hear from her again or see her again?
Well, we had to visit, and I was there for a while. And after I left, I never heard from her again, and she never got in touch with me neither.
And during this encounter, did you all use any sort of birth control or protection?
No.
Did you ever hear that she had a daughter?
Well, I never heard. I didn't know I had a daughter. You know, it's 47 years, you know.
So when you got this message on Facebook from Miss Fuller, you were shocked?
Yes.
Because you had no idea.
I had no idea. But I looked at the Facebook and I looked at a picture and I said, it could be mine. It could, you know.
And so you two have spoken.
Yeah.
Have you bonded at all? Have you accepted her, or do you still have doubts?
I felt that we Yeah. Yeah, we were bonded.
You have?
As much as you could, you know, but not, I haven't seen, this is the first time I've seen her.
And when you see her now, do you believe she could possibly be your daughter?
Possibly.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah.
I mean,
And wait, what was the oh yeah about?
I mean, I have heels on. I'm a little taller than.
Yeah. Yeah, I look, yeah, she do. She's favored me a lot, you know.
And so your wife is here.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'd like to hear from you. Please stand.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're Mr. Neal's wife.
Yes, Melinda Bloomfield Neal.
Okay. And so, ma'am, have you and your husband accepted Miss Fuller as your daughter? I see you're very emotional in court while the testimony.
I already got attached to Miss Fuller already. And you know, yeah.
You have.
I would like it to turn out for them, you know what I mean?
Yes, you would like.
Father and daughter.
Yes.
Because on my family side, I don't have very many relatives left. I only had one brother, and he passed away a while back, and my mother a while back, 2003, but I'm already attached to her. So whatever outcome happens, I want to stay friends with her.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, Miss Fuller, Miss Bloomfield says you've become attached.
Yes, I have, Your Honor. She's been so welcoming, and I've never thought in a million years I'd ever be here, able to have this opportunity to find out if he is, you know, and I just love the fact that he wrote a song about my mom. Yeah, I mean, it's everything. Yeah.
And so if he is not, have you started to pursue any of the other men on the list?
I will. If I'm just trying to move on with my life, and having this opportunity to find out, you know, I have children that I'd like for them to know, you know, that they have, you know, their family, our family is not gone. I mean, we still have, you have a grandfather, or, you know.
Yes. So, you know, Miss Fuller, Mr. Neal discussed the fact that he had no idea, you know, your mother ever had a child. So he didn't know you were there, out there. Mm-hmm. Tell the court what it was like in your teen years after being told by your mother at 13 that, in fact, the man you thought was your father was not your father. What was growing up like?
I didn't know where I fit in. I just knew I was a good girl. I wanted to just please my mom, to please everybody around me. Never questioned anything. I never thought of trying to open up doors that were never there for me to open. I never wanted to be in a place of a lonely state. You know, I feel lonely now. I do, and whether he is my father or not, I feel so good that you guys are here to do this for me. It took a lot to do this, I know.
And so today's results, they really do mean everything to you.
They do. Because I'm just looking for answers that I kind of fell in my lap at the time that I think God put into my life, and I think that there's a reason why I'm able to do this today. And
I told my sister, and she was glad, and I told my mother, and they, you know, and she was glad, and
so your family was welcoming to this idea that you could have a daughter.
Yeah.
I don't feel worthy of love, you know. I've just been so. I need some closure.
Well, you are worthy of love, Miss Fuller. I want you to know that. You're worthy of love. And you're worthy of the truth.
Yes.
and I have that for you. Jerome, if anyone would like to take a seat, you're more than welcome. I know this can be emotional, so if you'd like to sit down, you may sit down now. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Fuller v. Neal, pertaining to 47-year-old Gina Fuller, as to whether Mr. Neal is her biological father. Mr. Neal, you are not Miss Fuller's father.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Miss Fuller.
That's okay. That's okay. I
I'm
still love you.
so sorry.
You are like a father to me. You are.
This court is about getting people the truth they need.
Yes.
So they can figure out how to move forward. And I want you to know that even though you didn't get the answer you wanted today, right now, in this moment, I still want you to move forward.
Yeah.
You may, of course, go over
Thank you.
and stand with Fuller.
Thank you.
And I know you can find the strength because you need that closure and you deserve it.
Yes.
And I'm hoping you can find that resolution. But I wish you the best of luck, and I'm just so sorry I could not give you the answer you wanted today.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Good luck to you all. Court is adjourned.
You know, I just feel there's a reason why I met you, because I needed to relive. Maybe you needed to relive my mom.
Yeah.
You know, to know that, that your love for her and her love for you meant a lot.